Britain's Prince Philip laid to rest today following a solemn service that honored his life of service to his country, the crown, and his wife of 73 years, Queen Elizabeth. The ceremony, filled with royal and military tradition, pared down because of COVID-19 restrictions. One of the most striking images, the solitary Queen, as she now continues to rule alone. The funeral of Britain's Prince Philip reflected in his military ties, both as the ceremonial commander of many units and as a veteran of the Royal Navy who served during World War II. More than 700 military personnel from across the armed forces took part in this afternoon's ceremony, the majority of which was planned by Philip himself. The late Prince himself specially designed the Land Rover that carried his coffin to St. George's Chapel. His casket was draped with his personal standard and topped with his Admiral of the Fleet naval cap and sword, which was a gift from his father-in-law, King George VI, to celebrate Philip's marriage to then Princess Elizabeth in 1947. A wreath also lay on top of the coffin, composed of flowers chosen by the Queen and a handwritten note signed with her childhood nickname, Lilibet. The world's first glimpse of the monarch came when the national anthem played, as she and her lady-in-waiting pulled away from Windsor Castle to follow the Land Rover to the chapel. 9 members of the royal family, including her 4 children and several grandchildren, marched behind the hearse. Prince William and Prince Harry were separated by their cousin, Peter Phillips. There was no obvious tension between the brothers, whose relationship has been strained since Harry's decision to quit royal duties and move to California. At one point, Phillips fell slightly behind, and the brothers walked side by side, echoing their mother, Princess Diana's funeral procession in 1997. A national minute of silence was observed promptly at 3 p.m. Windsor time, followed by the firing of a single cannon, signaling the start of the service. Prince Philip's coffin entered St. George's Chapel, preceded by the Archbishop of Canterbury. His 4 children and 3 of his 8 grandchildren continued walking behind. The Queen sitting alone in her pew, mourning her husband of more than 7 decades.
We are here today in St. George's Chapel to commit into the hands of God the soul of his servant Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh.
The 50-minute service was filled with personal touches selected by the Prince, including the readings and music selections. There was no sermon at Philip's request and no family eulogies or readings following royal tradition.
May thy portion this day be in peace, and thy dwelling in the heavenly Jerusalem. Amen.
Following the final blessing, the Garter Principal King of Arms proclaimed all of Prince Philip's styles and titles. As the prince's coffin was lowered into the royal vault, the service concluded with a final personal request: Royal Marine buglers sounding action stations, an alarm that alerts sailors to prepare for battle. The royal family exited the chapel, the Queen leaving by car, as the rest of the family walked to meet her for a private gathering at Windsor Castle. Prince William and Prince Harry were seen walking together and chatting, as many across Britain hoped their grandfather's funeral would help them mend the rift between them. Now the widowed Queen, who's 94 years old, carries on her reign alone, without her most trusted advisor by her side.